Hey guys, welcome back to my hot room, my Zen space. Welcome back to your yoga practice today. So today we're going to do a letting it go flow. We're going to find some opportunities to release and let go of some stuff that isn't working for us anymore. Here in our current time, we're working on the New Year's coming right around the corner. So maybe we want to take this opportunity to slough off the old stuff and ring in some new stuff. Some things you might need today, some props. Definitely grab your blocks if you have some, a book, anything like that is kind of this general shape and size will help support you through your class today. We're also going to use things like bolsters. This is called a bolster. You can pick one of these up if you don't already have one, or get yourself a couple of couch pillows. Couch pillows will work all the same, just simple little body pillows, and even something that you can roll up and tuck underneath you will help you out today, help support your body and really get you in deep into the postures. So let's start today in Shavasana. So I want you to lay back on your mat, extend the feet super long, allow the crown of the head to really stretch back, maybe tuck your chin into your chest slightly to really lengthen the spine on the mat. Now think about tucking your shoulders up and underneath your heart space to allow the heart space to raise up, and then drop the shoulders back and down, allow the arms to drape by your sides, maybe walk the heels down a little bit farther to really feel the extension through the spine, and then let the toes fall away and start to relax. Let it go. Feel your body start to melt into your mat. First, noticing the breath. Notice how your breath is today. Is it long? Is it short? Is it fast? Is it slow? Just acknowledging where our breath is right now in this moment as we start to settle into this space, into this Shavasana, letting it go. As you inhale, start to notice the breath as it fills up your belly. Use the breath to fill that belly all the way up to the sky. And then as you exhale, feel the belly button releasing towards the spine, releasing towards the floor, and everything starts to melt in a little deeper, settling your body into the mat. Maybe you even start to feel like you're becoming one with the mat below. Notice how it comes up to support you. Notice how it rises to have your back. Starting to notice the sensations in the body. Is there tingling, tickling, itching? Maybe there's a heaviness in parts of your body. Maybe a particular limb or muscle. Just acknowledging what's happening in the body, maybe even starting with the feet and working towards the head, using a body scan function, really just watching everything in the body from a distance, from an outsider perspective. Notice what's happening before we get started. And really working through that body all the way up to the crown of the head. Notice what's going on. Notice what's happening for you. And think about that space right between your eyebrows. Let it soften. Let it relax. Let the eyeballs hang heavy. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Allow it to settle into the mouth. Just breathe. Anytime you start to get distracted, come back to noticing your breath, filling the belly up with air on your inhale, and allowing everything to relax on the exhale. Starting in stillness here, letting the body know that we're going to take some time for it today, that we're going to really go in deep today. As you really hone into that stillness, maybe you start to find or set an intention for your class today. What is it that you want to gain out of this class today? Maybe there's a larger goal in life that you're working towards. Be specific and use positive statements like I am, I have, or I do. Knowing that whatever that intention is, it's already done for you. All you have to do is send it out to the universe and let it start doing the work for you. As we move through our yoga practice, we bring to light all of those things that we need in our lives that the universe can provide. And without even knowing it, the universe automatically starts sending those things to us just by connecting with our breath, connecting with our body, and connecting with our natural flow of life. Now that you've set that intention, now that you have that positive statement or affirmation in your head, let's send it out to the universe. Let's let it start doing the work. Let's be really intentional here. Inhale your breath super deep. Fill that belly all the way up with air. Expand, 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 and then hold the breath at the top. Smile, relax your face, open your jaw, and exhale. Send your breath out to the universe. Send that intention with it. Good. Inhale. Fill it all the way up with air. Hold the breath at the top. Hold it. Hold it. Smile. Open the mouth. Exhale. Send it out to the universe. Let it start doing the work. One more time. Inhale. Fill that belly all the way up with air. Fill it all the way up, all the way up. Really make that belly rise towards the sky. Taking a little sip of air and another. Hold the breath. Smile. Exhale. Let it out to the universe. Let it start doing that work. Begin wiggling your fingers, wiggling the toes. Start moving through the hands, through the wrists, through the feet and ankles. Really beginning to wake up the body here. As you're ready, bringing one knee in at a time and start to bring those knees into the chest. You can keep the eyes closed for a moment here. We're going to stay on our backs. Just listen to my voice. Pull those knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a nice little hug. Maybe even drawing the forehead up into the knees to give those knees the extra little bit of hug that they need, feeling the spine stretch. Otherwise, we're drawing the shoulders down and pulling the knees even tighter towards the chest. Maybe point and flex the toes while you're here. You can even cross the ankles and do a couple of ankle circles here. That always feels nice to me. Just make sure that if you cross over one direction, flip the script and cross over the other direction. It's a subtle movement, but it changes everything. Good, good. Squeeze those knees in a little bit tighter. And then release the grip on the knees and kick your left foot up to the sky. Really extend that leg super long. Make your left foot super flat like you're going to stand against that ceiling up there. And then start to pull your right knee in as you slowly, slow as you can, release your left leg down towards the mat. Left heel touches the mat, and we keep flexing both those feet like we're standing against those walls. Pull the right knee in towards the chest. Pull your shoulders back and down, and maybe tuck that chin back into the chest a little bit to lengthen the spine even further on the mat. Pavanamuktasana, or wind liberation pose, they call this. Sometimes this helps us liberate some wind in our bellies. Sometimes, the more deep times, we want to work to release things that aren't serving us anymore. So one of the most amazing things we can do here is visualize. I like to visualize a little bit of a bubble placed right underneath where my belly and my thigh are touching. I'm using my breath to push back on that thigh. So that space right there, you'll feel it right where it makes contact. That's where you want to put this little bubble. Now imagine this bubble starts taking on all the things that aren't serving you in your life anymore. Little blips of information, little pictures might come up for you. Place those pictures, place those pieces of information inside that bubble. Keep breathing here. Don't hold your breath. And keep flexing your feet. Keep the extension through that left leg really long and keep pulling that right knee in towards the chest. If the right knee's all the way into the chest, the full length of your thigh is onto your body. Maybe you start shifting the leg towards the outside edge of your body, moving that that knee towards your right armpit, but keeping the leg super tight into the body because we want to feel that constriction in the belly. That's part of this Pavanamuktasana, is feeling that constriction through the belly. Good. Keep imagining all those things, placing them in that bubble. Anything that isn't serving you anymore, stick it in that bubble. Good. Working on our ascending colon here. Here's when we bring in all the information. We pull it all into that space. Feel the breath push back on the thigh, pushing that bubble against it. Use nice deep breathing here. Keep flexing those feet. Keep squeezing a little harder. Take it to your edge and then squeeze a little bit deeper. Hold the breath. Good, and gently exhale. Just keep that right knee bent and pull the left knee in to meet it. Grab a hold of opposite fingertips over those shins. Please don't pull on the knees. I don't ever want you pulling or pushing on the knees. We don't want to hyperextend anything in here and blow it out. So grab a hold of the fingertips on the outside edge of your shins. Maybe you grab for opposite wrists or maybe even opposite elbows. If you struggle to even grab those fingertips, that's okay. Maybe you grab a hold of your pants and start to pull in. Maybe you grab a hold of that strap, or maybe you have a some sort of, silken something that you can grab, pull onto right here. Maybe you have a hand towel that you're using to wipe up. Just go ahead and pull it onto the shins and squeeze everything nice and tight into the chest. Pull your shoulders back and down. Lift that chest towards the sky. Tuck your chin back towards your chest and flex your feet like you're standing against that imaginary wall. Pulling those shoulders back and down helps pull the elbows down, pulling the knees closer to the chest. Now that bubble is in the center of our belly, right there where you feel both legs pressing into the belly. There's constriction here. You should be able to use your inhale to press against those thighs with the belly. Good. Imagining even more stuff that isn't serving us piling into that bubble. The bubble doesn't need to get any bigger. It'll house everything, just like a Mary Poppins bag. Its depth is endless. So just keep filling it with everything. Don't worry about it exploding. It's not going to. We're going to release this bubble out into the universe as soon as we get to that left side. Right now we're working on the transverse colon. So we're working it through the middle portion of our body, across the body, so we can get it sent out through that descending side. Keep flexing your feet. Keep breathing deep, using that breath to push back on those thighs. Keep squeezing and pulling the shoulders back and down, pulling those knees in tighter. Bring it to your edge and squeeze. Think about that bubble. Say to yourself, I choose to release everything that isn't serving me anymore. Keep flexing your feet. Keep pulling the shoulders back and down. Squeeze in a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper. Good, and gently release. Kick the right foot up to the sky, interlace those fingers or grab opposite wrists over that left shin. Start to pull the left knee in. Extend the right leg super long. Flex your foot like you're standing against a wall up there. And then slowly, slow as you can go, start to release that right leg down. Notice each change in your muscle groups as you release this leg down. Once you get it to the floor, extend long through that right leg. Pull the left knee in tight and flex your feet. Shoulders draw back and down. Chin tucks back into the chest if it started to wander, and squeeze everything in. Smile. Breathe. Think about that bubble holding all that stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. Now it's underneath that left thigh, squeezing in between the belly. Use your breath to push back on that thigh. Feel the squeeze. Each exhale gives us an opportunity to go a little bit deeper into our postures. Keep flexing both your feet. Keep pulling that left knee in. Don't hold the breath. Breathe into it. Challenge yourself. Pulling those shoulders back and down gives you more depth in the pull. Keep breathing. Pavanamuktasana on this this descending side. So this is the descending. We let it go here. Feel that bubble. It's filled up to its brim. Good. Keep squeezing in super tight. Keep thinking about letting go of all of those things, severing the ties to all the things that aren't serving you anymore. Don't let them stay attached in your body. Let's release them so we can start with a clean slate. Pull in a little deeper. Take it to your edge and squeeze. Hold. Inhale. Hold the breath. Hold, hold, hold. Say to yourself here with an exhale, I choose to release everything that isn't serving me anymore. Good. Inhale deeper. And exhale, gently release. Hands come beside you. Kick that foot up to the sky and then slow release down into your Shavasana. Nice job. Flip the feet. Rock them side to side. Windshield wiper. Start to roll through the hips just a little bit. Nice job. Now, we're going to move into Jatara Parivartanasana, which is an intense side belly stretch. So we want to start opening up the legs, opening up the hips. Walk the soles of the feet up towards your booty. I want you to bring the heels in alignment with your hips. So you should be able to reach down and tickle the heels with your fingertips. If not, pull those shoulders back and down underneath that heart space. It just means you need to pull the shoulder blades together like you're squeezing a pencil. Then reach the arms out like airplane wings beside you. Good. Make sure that the shoulders aren't going, or the elbows aren't going above the shoulders and the wrists aren't going above the elbows. Nice long airplane arms, shoulders tucked back and down, chin tucked towards the chest. Inhale and lift your hips off the mat about 3 to 4 inches, and then take them over to the right side of your mat and drop your hip down. It's going to create a funky little curve in your spine. It's okay. Kick up off the feet and bring the knees towards the chest. Again, we're in that funky shape. Don't stress. Flex your feet and start to think about dropping the knees towards the left side of your body, bringing the knees all the way up towards that left elbow. Drop the right shoulder back down to the mat. Square the shoulders towards the sky and eye gaze up towards the ceiling. This is it. This is the posture right here. Jatari Parivartanasana. You can stay right here. Maybe you take that left hand and grab a hold of the outer edge of the right thigh and start to peel yourself down. A little self-adjustment here. If you feel like you can get a little deeper, but that leg just doesn't want to cooperate, give it a little help. It's always okay to stretch the muscle through there a little bit more. Keep flexing your feet and thinking about drawing those knees up towards that left elbow. Eye gaze is still up towards the ceiling. If you have that right shoulder fully grounded into the mat, maybe you take the eye gaze over the right fingertips. Keep flexing and allow your belly to hang super heavy here. We're twisting. We're rinsing out that belly like we're rinsing out a wet towel. So imagine the spine just twisting here to rinse everything out. So anything residual that we didn't let go of on that last movement, we're getting to let go of it now. Good. Smile maybe. Bring your eye gaze back up to the ceiling. Tuck the chin back to the chest. Use your next inhale, use your core, draw those knees back up towards the sky. Now, put your feet back in the mat and reset your spine. Get yourself back to the center of your mat and then draw both knees in towards the chest. Lift the forehead up to the knees, giving yourself a great big hug. A nice reset for the spine here, counter pose. Flex and point the toes if you want. Good. Release the shoulders back and down. Release the head back and down. Drop the soles of the feet back by the booty, hips distance apart. Tuck the shoulders together and extend the arms out long. Make sure that the shoulders are nice and in line with the arms. They aren't going above them. And now inhale, press through the soles of the feet. Lift your hips up off the mat about 3 to 4 inches. This time shifting them over to the left side of your mat and dropping down onto that right hip. Kick up off those feet and bring the knees in towards the chest. We're in that funky curve on that right butt. And now we're going to roll to the right side, bringing both knees as high up as we can, keeping a nice right angle with those legs, bending those knees, flexing the feet. Knees come up towards that right elbow. Keep the arms in that nice airplane mode and eye gaze up towards the ceiling. You're working to really ground that opposite shoulder down. Try not to let it fly up here. Pull it down. Sometimes it lifts up. That's okay. You're working towards it. Maybe even take those fingertips and walk them out a little bit further. You can always take a block as well. Place it in between the thighs if you can't quite get those legs to touch. Keep flexing your feet, eye gaze up. Maybe you take the right hand and grab a hold of the left thigh, peeling it down. Always choosing your own adventure, noticing the nuances as you change the stretch. So just hanging out here feels different than if we start to pull onto that left thigh. What does that left thigh peeling have to do with anything? How does it change it for you? Good. If the left shoulder is grounded, and only if the left shoulder is fully into the mat, you can rotate the eye gaze and look over those left fingertips. Keep flexing your feet and breathe. Feeling that nice rinsing going on throughout the belly here. Nice spinal twist, Jatari Parivartanasana. Breathing. Letting go, rinsing everything out. Good. Eye gaze back up to the ceiling. Use your next inhale to pull those knees back up to the ceiling. Use your core. Drop the feet into the mat first. Reset your spine, fix your clothes, whatever it is you need to do. Then pull those knees into the chest for a great big hug. Supta Bandha ball. Love on yourself. Maybe give those knees a kiss. Tell them thank you. And tell them how excited you are for the rest of our flow as we start to move up onto the mat. Good. I want you to pick one side or the other. Kick that arm up towards the sky and roll onto your belly. Coming into Makrasana, crocodile pose. A little sleepy crocodile to start. Bring the palms stacked on top of each other, elbows nice and wide. Extend through the legs, zip up through the legs, and start pressing through the tops of the feet. Drop the forehead down onto those hands and rock your hips from side to side. Feel the lower spine release here. Good. Stop the rocking. Inhale. Lift up the head. Lift up the chest and see if you can pull your chest forward. It's a very subtle movement. You might not even notice the body move, just the lifting of the head. Pushing down through the tops of the feet. Pushing down through the hips. Exhale. Release everything down. Let it go. Relax. Let the heels fall away. Forehead into those hands. Rock it side to side. Good. Nice job. Listen carefully. Extend those legs super long and now bend at the knees. Start to draw the soles of the feet together and push the knees away from you. So soles of the feet, it's almost like our Baddha Konasana, but we're on our bellies. So soles of the feet are touching, knees wide. Place the hands underneath that nipple area and start to push yourself back. Extended child's pose. Now you might be a little wider than you expect when you get there, like I am. Just set yourself back up the way you know your extended child's pose feels good for you. So big toes touching, knees wide is the important part. And we're going to start to climb that belly in between the thighs. Start to stretch out, reaching those arms super far forward and bring the forehead into the mat. Now, here's a great opportunity for that bolster or that pillow. If you start to go down here and you're like, my hips ain't doing that, grab a hold of your bolster. Tuck it right up as close to your body, up to that belly as you can, so you can keep the spine super long as you lay it across those pillows. Maybe dropping the forehead into the pillows. Or if your pillows aren't quite as long as that bolster, maybe you just drop the forehead on top of your stacked hands. Now, if you're going to have those hands stacked, you really need to make sure that the elbows are nice and wide so they're not interfering with the depth of your stretch here. Really get nice and deep. Now, wherever you are, I want you to imagine me coming along and grabbing a hold of the fingertips and pulling them super far away from your body. Feeling the stretch from the length of your, from the tips of your fingertips all the way to the tailbone. Good. Now you can take the palms if they're outstretched and press them into the mat, shifting your hips back towards the heels a little bit further. Good. Nice job. Slowly start to walk the hands up towards the face, pushing yourself up to sit. Try and keep that nice long spine. Always thinking about stacking your head over your heart and your heart right over that pelvis, right over those hips, okay? Now let's start to draw the knees in together. So now we're working towards Virasana or hero pose. I'm going to come forward so you can see what I've got going on here. The thing we want to do here is really work to get those knees to touch, and then we start to work the legs beside us. So see if you can sit yourself down in between those legs. Now, as soon as you start to feel a super pinch or a scab in those knees, I need you to back out a little bit. We never want to feel a scabbing or pinching sensation in the knees. So if you start to feel that pinching sensation right away, first step, take the calf flesh, take your palm, press on that calf flesh, get it out of the way, and then sit back down. See if that changes it. See if that makes a difference. If you feel any sort of pinching or stabbing, grab that block, place it under your booty. Now for me, I'm right there. My booty is touching, but it's a little uncomfortable to sit on. So maybe I want to challenge myself a little bit and still use my hands to kind of hold myself, maybe rock that booty in between those feet. Now it's okay for the feet to be nice and tight next to the legs, but you want to make sure that they're by the legs, not sitting onto those heels. Good. Now, maybe hero pose is like your game, like you love hero pose. Maybe you should take an opportunity here to lay it back into your reclined hero pose. If you feel any sort of stabbing or pinching, stop there, back out just a little bit. There's no reason that one hand length can't come back for you. Maybe you drop it only down to the forearms. Maybe you're using that block or that bolster behind you to lay it down. Choose your adventure. I'm going to choose my block here and sit up on my block for a moment. Work those knees back together, get the calf flesh out of the way, and bring those heels super tight next to my body. Good. Sit up tall, or if you're laying it back into that supta, stay there. Maybe you can relax it out and really just let it go into that Supta Virasana. Now, if you're sitting on the block, you can attempt to kind of go back, but again, always being cautious of those knees, being very gentle with those knees. Start to walk it back. Feel how that feels. Maybe you come down to your forearms. Notice if the knees start to pull up. My knees started to pinch, so I'm going to come out a little bit. Then I'm going to walk myself back down to that edge. Maybe I bend the elbows a little and lift and bend. Working my way there. This is a great pose to practice in the bathtub when you have that nice warm water right there that you can cover yourself with that water, and the warm water is going to help you stretch through the knees. It's also really good to do in a hot room. So if you have access to a hot yoga studio or even a heater in your own room, that will always help you get more depth in the muscles. Good. So if you're in that Supta Virasana, that reclined hero, slowly start to come out one hand at a time. Walk yourself onto those hands, then walk yourself forward. Be gentle. Use the hands. Don't use the knees to pull yourself up. You could always damage your kneecaps by doing that. We don't want to ever hyperextend the knees. They're such a strong part of our support system, okay? Move my block out of the way. Move any props that you have out of the way. Let's get back to moving in. So everybody start to press through the palms and shift yourself forward. Come into that tabletop, all fours. Good. Remember your placement. Knees go underneath those hip points. You can measure by taking those fists side by side, right, like this. Place them in between your knees. That's your very own hip space, okay? Once you have that hip space, look through the back, look through your legs, and make sure you have a nice long extension through the legs, through the shins, through the feet. Then stack the shoulders over the wrist and start to spread your fingers super wide. Remember that spider grip. We want to grab a hold of the mat, almost like we're going to pull the mat together underneath our hands. Then drop the belly button to meet the spine, pull the belly button up to meet the spine, and extend the crown of the head super long. Think about an extension from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Virasana, cow. Good. Few breaths here. I want you to feel the stretch through the hips, the back, through the front side of that belly. Good. Exhale, round it out. Chin comes in towards the chest. We push the hips forward, squeeze everything in. So I'm pressing down through the shins. My hips are actively pushing towards my elbows. My belly button is squeezing in towards my spine. And my chin is tucked tight into my chest, looking between my thighs, making sure I have those two parallel lines going with my shins. Squeeze everything in and hold. Marjarasana, cat pose. Couple of breaths. Good. Inhale, drop your belly, look up. Exhale, press through the shins, round it out, belly button to spine, chin to chest, squeeze. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round and curl, mad kitty, squeeze, push, press out of the palms, squeeze those fingertips, press into those shins behind you. Inhale, drop the belly, try pressing your chest through your shoulder blades. Good, last time, round it out. And come to a neutral spine. Good. I want you to bring those knees nice and tight together. Sink hips to heels and round and curl. Forehead comes into the mat. We're working towards that child's pose. So walk those hands back super far. Forehead into the mat. Shoulders round over the front of those knees. And we have those palms face up towards the sky, passing our heels. Now, as you lay here, I want you to do some hand stretches. So give those hands a fist, squeeze those fingers into a fist, and then open them wide.
Squeeze those fingers into a fist and then spread them wide. Now, turn those fingertips all the way up towards the sky. Reach the fingertips up towards the sky and then see if you can reach your forearms. Try and touch your forearms with your fingertips. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Feel that length through the arms and gently release. Start to paint that line. Come on up, press through the palms and sit yourself up. Do what you need here. Fix your clothes. Get yourself ready. We're going to start to move. Sit, shift the body weight forward. Come onto the palms. Curl onto your toes. First, find that nice grounding in the hands. Find your spider grip. Find a nice long spine. Then curl onto the toes. Hover the knees. Hold. Breathe. Good. Start to think about bringing your belly onto your thighs first. Squeezing into that nice tight ball. Then extend your hips up towards the sky. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Pressing through the palms, rotating the upper arm bones up and out as you spiral the inner thighs in. So I like to think of squeezing a block in between my thighs. It helps lift those hips up to the sky and ground my heels towards the mat. Then we also want to think about pulling the armpits in to face one another. That's how you're going to pull those shoulders back and down out of the socket and really press through the palms here. Squeeze. Micro bend in the elbows, micro bend in the knees. Shake your head no. Breathe, nod it yes, always ending on a positive note. Good. Inhale, lifts the right leg up. Draw the right knee in towards the chest like you're a flamingo, and then drop it just in front of the left toes. We're going to take a tightrope walk up to the top of the mat. Left leg lifts. Drop it down in front of the right toes. Imagine you're walking up that tightrope up the center of the mat. Right leg lifts. Drop it in front of the left. Keep your arms super straight. Keep the palms pressed into the mat. Only bending the knees when you absolutely have to get that leg up and underneath to get you all the way forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Good. Let it hang heavy and breathe. Good. Micro bend in the knees, straightening up through the legs. Walk the hands back to really frame through the feet. I want you to work on getting those palms to press into the mat, then extension through the legs, only once the hands stay planted. Let the head hang heavy, maybe taking another opportunity to shake it no, and nod it yes. Giving thanks for this moment. I want you to find something you're grateful for. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Find something you're grateful for and say, I'm thankful for, or I'm grateful for. Finish the sentence. Good. Lift those hips a little higher. Use the exhale to tuck the belly up underneath that rib cage and fold against those thighs a little deeper. Slowly start to press through the soles of the feet. Allow this to be what pushes you up to rise. Stack one vertebrae at a time, moving super slow. Shoulders and then head are going to be last to rise. Then we follow it by reaching the arms up to the sky. Drop those hands down through heart center. Bring them into prayer. Good. Close your eyes and feel the gentle sway in your body. Breathing here. Good. Inhale, open the eyes, reach the arms up to the sky. Start clawing the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Imagine you're climbing a ladder. Pull, 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 reach. Now come up onto the toes and hold. Lalasana, palm tree pose, looking up towards the sky. We're still on the toes, heels lifted, squeezing everything in. One long, super long line. Good. Exhale, release through the heels. Hands come down to heart center. Anjali Mudra. Good. Slowly forward fold. Come all the way down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend through the knees, palms come into the mat. Step the right foot back. Step the left foot back. Move through your chaturanga. So pull your shoulders down and in between that heart space. Tuck your tailbone, squeeze. Squeeze that belly in and extend through the heels first. Now, make sure you have that nice spider grip. Shift the body weight forward. Look over that ledge. You can come down through chaturanga, or maybe you drop down to the knees and then kick the booty up to the sky. Chest and chin touch the mat. Push yourself forward. Lift up. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog, or maybe you're down here in cobra. Choose your own adventure. Good. Roll over those toes. Lift up, power up. Downward facing dog. Shake the head no. Nod it yes. Inhale, lifts the left leg up. Tightrope walk. Take it all the way up to the top. Working one leg at a time. Notice the nuances of the feet as they step into the mat. Slowly making your way up. Don't bend through the arms. Keep those arms straight. Get those legs straight all the way up as far as you can. Then bend only once you need to. Coming into Uttanasana. Forward fold. Good. Let it hang heavy. Micro bend in the knees. Slow rise up. Trace a line up the front of your legs. This helps you move a little bit slower. Shoulders drop back and down. Head lifts up. Fix your clothes. Reach for the sky. Good. Exhale. Hands down to heart center. Breathe. Smile. Good job. Nice work. Close your eyes. Feel that gentle sway of your body. Just breathe. Just want to make sure we're still going strong here. Good. Nice work, you guys. Slowly start to open the eyes with that smile on your face. We're going to move into a little bit of leg lift. So I'm going to turn here so you can see what's going on. Zip up through your toes. Zip up through the arches of the feet. Zip up through your legs nice and tight. Now feel your pelvic floor lift up as you tuck your booty up and under. And then drop the shoulders back and down. Plug a little weight into your elbows to really feel that release through the shoulders. Feel your sternum, your collarbone open up. And chin becomes parallel with the mat. Now lift through your left toes and replace them down one at a time, starting with the pinky toe, working all the way to the big toe. Shift the weight into the left leg, micro bend in your left knee, guys, so it helps you lift from the pelvic floor. And then feel that lift as you shift the weight into the left side and slowly, like there's a puppet string on your knee, start to lift your knee up. Bring it up hips height, toes point down, hold. Good. Now rotate up and around. Bringing that knee out to the side and then down and then come back up. Try not to touch the floor. You can tap if you need to. Hands at heart center. Round it out. Roll it in. Bring it forward. Last time. Out to the side. Down and back. Bring it forward. Lift. Let's go the other direction. This time dropping the knee down towards the floor. Opening to the side and coming back in. 2 more times. Drop the knee down. Open back up. Come on in, move slow. Drop it down, open up, come back in. Good, gentle release. Wiggle your booty, lift through the toes, rock it back and forth. Good, release some of that tension. You got this. Lift up through those right toes. We're moving on to that other side. Replace the toes down one at a time, starting with the pinky, working to the big toe, shifting over into the right leg. Feel that micro bend in the right knee. Lift up through your pelvic floor and slowly start to bring that knee up on that puppet string. Allow those toes to point and bring that left knee hips height. Don't sink down into your right hip. Lift up and out of that pelvic floor. Good. Open that left knee to the side of the room. And then drop it down, pull it forward, knee up. Open up to the side, drop it down and back, knee lifts, good. If you drop out, that's okay, just come back in. Woo! See, I talked about it, it happened. Open up, drop it down, and slowly come back in. Last time, I think, drop it out, drop it down, bring it back in. Good, let's go the other way. Drop the knee down towards the floor and then open up to the side of the room, bring it back. 2 more. Drop it down. Open up. Good. Last time. Drop it down. Open up. And slowly release. Shake it out. Wiggle it out. We're going to move into a little Vrikshasana, tree pose. We want to find some grounding and balance here. So again, zipping up through the legs, tucking those toes into the floor. I want you to feel all 4 corners of your foot spread out on the mat when you lift those toes and place them down one at a time. Shifting the weight into the left side, right leg starts to lift, hands at heart center, pull your shoulders back and down. Feel the weight in that right ankle. Give me a couple ankle rotations. Good, see if you can reach down and grab a hold of your ankle. Pull it in and bring it to the inner thigh. If this is super intense for you, maybe try right here at the calf. Or you can even kickstand with the toe right here at the ankle. I just want you working to hover that toe so you're not focused on using that toe for balance, but rather just finding your balance here. Choose your own adventure. 1, 2, or 3. Never on the knee. We don't want to push out on that knee.
Good. Holding Vrikshasana. Once you find your balance, whichever level you're at, grow your limbs. Reach for the sky. Yes, maybe you sway in the wind. Good. Maybe you only have one hand up. Maybe you switch. Maybe it's more like a little dance for you. Maybe you want to take it a little bit farther and go into that sundial pose. Grab a hold of the toe and kick it out. Good. Wherever you are, slowly come back. Let's work that right knee up and release it down. Step the right foot out and shake your hips. Good. Release tension. Let it go. Nice. Step it in. Heels and toes come together. We touch. Good. Lifting up through the right toes, replace them down. Shift the weight and start to lift. Bringing that left knee up like you're on that puppet string again. Good. See if you can reach down and grab a hold of that ankle. Pull that left foot in. Sole of the foot presses against the thigh. We use the thigh to press back against it. Lifting up from the pelvic floor. You can hold on to this ankle all the time if you need to until you start to find that balance. Remember, you can go here. We bring it to the shin, working to open that hip. Or you can even kickstand here. Remembering to lift that toe slightly off the floor. If you're having trouble with balance, just tap it. Good. Choose your own adventure. Where do you want to go today? Find the balance, then grow the limbs. Maybe you sway. Good. Breathing. Good. Release. Gently bring it back. Step it out. Swing through the hips. You guys are doing great. I can't see you, but I know that you're doing fabulous. So keep up the good work. We don't have much more time. You guys are actually doing really good with the flow. We're going to move into a little Virabhadrasana or warrior flow. So I want you to step the feet together and then come to the front of your mat if you're not already. Inhale, reach up to the sky, and exhale, swan dive. So you want to press the sides of the room away and come down with a flat spine. Forward fold, back into your Uttanasana. Bend your knees, step hop, or jump it back into your plank. Hold. Pull the shoulders up and through. Think cobra here. Spread those fingers wide and squeeze the mat. Tuck your tailbone and extend through those heels. Good. We're in that plank. Move through your chaturanga flow of your choice. Maybe you come down, knees, chest, chin. Maybe you work through that chaturanga with a belly flop. Meet me in downward dog. Inhale deeply. And exhale fully. Let something go. Pressing through the palms, find your foundation, shoulders up and out as you rotate the inner thighs in. Inhale, lifts the right leg up, hips hike. Flex your foot, square the hips. So you want this right leg super parallel with the floor below. That's how you'll square your hips. Turn the toes down towards the floor. Press into that imaginary wall, then draw the right knee in towards the left. Shift the body weight over those left toes, come forward, drop the right foot in. Finding yourself in that nice long lunge, right foot forward. Sink those hips down. Think about bringing this right thigh parallel with the mat below. Good. Drop the left heel down. So step the left foot forward about half a foot and then drop the heel down so it's in alignment with your right foot and the left toes are facing the left corner of the room. Bring your hands to your hips and peel your body up. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky and sink it down a little farther, pressing into that right knee and shifting those hips to be square with the front of your mat. Look up at your fingertips. Warrior one. Breathe. Smile. Windmill the left hand down. Rotate the eye gaze to follow. Open that left foot to a 90 and sink it down. Warrior two. Think about your cues here. Shoulders drop back and down. Pull your center in, your pelvic floor. Then shift the knee over the ankle and squeeze. Don't let this knee splay forward in any direction other than right over that ankle. Shoulders drop, look over the right fingertips, pressing through the nice edge on the left foot. Good, let's reverse the warrior. Left hand drops to the left thigh, reach the right arm up to the sky, look up at the thumb. Maybe you reach that left arm behind you to try and grab for the right inner thigh, opening the left shoulder. Breathe. Smile. Unwind. Warrior two. Windmill it down. Rotate on that foot. Left hand into the mat. Right arm up to the sky. We're on the left toes. Right arm's reaching. Left hand down. Side twisting lunge. Reach it up, squeeze everything in, and windmill that right hand down. Kick the right foot back, move through your chaturanga series of choice. You can always just meet me in downward facing dog. Choose what suits you today. Choose your own adventure. Breathing, 3 breaths. You can always come down into child's pose for a moment when we're in those downward dogs. That might help you find your breath in between. Otherwise, you're focusing really strongly on the structure of this downward dog. Squeezing the shoulder blades up and out. Rotating the inner thighs in. Bringing the eyes of those elbows forward towards the top of the mat. And really gripping through the mat with the fingers. Inhale, left leg lifts. Good. Bring that left leg so it's parallel with the mat below. And imagine you're standing against a wall with that left foot. Good. Exhale, bend the left knee, bring it towards the chest, shift the body weight over those right toes, and come down, dropping the left foot in between the hands. Now, if you ever struggle with getting that foot up, always feel free to drop down to the opposite knee, swing the leg around the body, and bring it in. Then you can always curl back up onto those toes to get that nice lift. Choose your own adventure. Good. Looking down at the left toe, bring the hands to the hips, and inhale up. Oh, we forgot that back heel. That's okay, we can do it here. Rotate that back heel down, bringing those right toes to 45 so they face the right corner of your mat or the right corner of your room. And that left heel is in alignment with the right heel or the right arch. Notice how I'm pressing on the knife's edge of that back foot. Now I'm going to rotate my hips towards the front of the mat, sweep the arms up to the sky, and look up at them. Good. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Release the tension from your face. Squeeze those inner thighs in. Rotate those hips forward. Good. Windmill that right arm down to open up. Warrior 2. Arms come into airplane arms. We rotate on that back foot so it comes 90 degrees. Shoulders drop back and down. Try turning the palms up. Notice how it drops your shoulders, and then rotate the palms back down. Sink it forward, bringing the left knee over the left ankle. And working to get this left thigh parallel with the mat below one day. Pushing into the nice edge of the right foot. Squeeze. Hold everything in. Breathe. Smile, looking over those left fingertips. This is one of those poses where you constantly have to feel the adjustment. Oop, I gotta fix here. Oop, I gotta fix here. Keep doing it. Good, let's reverse the warrior. Right hand to right thigh. Reach the left arm up to the sky. Look up at it. Now, maybe you want to reach the right arm behind you and see if you can grab a hold of the left inner thigh. Sink it down a little farther. Still looking up at the left thumb. Unwind. Warrior 2. Good. Windmill it down. Right hand comes to the inside of the left foot. Rotate on those back toes. Reach the left arm up to the sky. Sink it down into those hips. Wiggle the fingers. Gather some energy. Good. Left hand comes down. Frame the foot, step it back, move through your chaturanga flow of choice. Meet me in downward dog and breathe. Shake the head no and nod it yes. Always ending on a positive note here. Inhale, right leg lifts, hips height. Really make sure that you're not opening the hip here, but you're dropping it down to match the mat. Flex through those right foot. Imagine pressing into that wall. Now bend your right knee, bring it in up to the heart. Now drop your foot underneath the heart. Don't take it all the way in between the hands, just underneath the heart here. Good. Inhale, start to lift up and straighten that right leg. Bring the hands to the hips and peel it on up first. So we're in a shirt stance here. Both legs are nice and long. We're going to reach those arms up overhead. Keep the biceps by the ears and slowly start to hinge. Start to bend through the right knee slightly so you can kick up. Maybe tap the left toe. Start to lift. Lifting from the left inner thigh. We're coming into that warrior 3. So maybe you only come to right here. Extension through the left leg. Lifting from the left inner thigh. Maybe you come down a little further. Maybe it's more comfortable for you to reach the arms out like airplane wings. Try and get that body flat and parallel with the mat below. Maybe the arms are behind you. Maybe they're still at your hips. Working to keep those hips framing the mat below. Good. Slowly start to pull the left knee in. Bring it up. Good. Then step it back. Good. Nice job. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Windmill those hands down to frame that foot. Kick those hands out and step it back, moving through your chaturanga flow. Meet me in down dog. And breathe. Taking a moment in child's pose if you need. If you're in that child's pose, come back out to downward dog. Lifting the hips to the sky, press through the palms. Inhale, left leg lifts, hips height. Make sure you're not opening that hip up to the sky, but squaring it to the mat below. Shift it in towards your chest. Drop that left foot down underneath the heart. So about 2 to 3 foot distance in between the feet. Drop the right heel back and down. Right foot at a 45. Good. Bring the hands to the hips. Start to straighten up through that left leg and come up to stand. Good. Lift through the left toes. I noticed that I didn't have much stability, so maybe that'll help you as well. Lift through those left toes and ground them back down. Feel all 4 corners of your foot mesh into the mat. Good. Reach those arms up overhead, biceps close to the ears. Looking forward, start to shift into that left leg. Kick the right foot up. Maybe you just tap here. Reaching, feeling the opposition of your stretch. Maybe you start to hinge it forward. Coming into that warrior 3, lifting from the right inner thigh so you can keep the right hip grounded towards the mat. Breathe. Hold in any position you choose today. And then slowly start to come on up. See if you can bring your toe up without touching the mat. Knee up towards the sky and out in front. Good. Then shift it back. Step it back. Windmill those hands down. Out into down dog. Move through your vinyasa. Chaturanga flow. We meet in child's pose. Round the forehead into the mat. Walk the hands back. Knees are nice and tight together. And breathe. Good. Now, come up to sit. Head over heart, heart over pelvis. Knees are wide. Okay? So we're going to open back up into that extended child's pose, that Utthita Balasana pose. So knees wide, big toes touching. We're sinking our hips onto our heels first. Try and keep your hips synced, I guess is the word. Sunk, there we go, sunk onto your hips. Start to walk the hands forward and bring your belly in between your thighs. Extend those arms super long, forehead into the mat. Breathing here, finding your breath. Maybe coming into that Namaste shark fin for a nice shoulder stretch. So the way that's going to work is your forehead's into the mat and you're going to claw the fingertips as far away from you as you can towards the top of the mat, extending those biceps, getting closer and closer to the ears. Now, bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra. Palms come together in that prayer pose. Keep your elbows where they are, biceps nice and tight next to the ears. Now bend your elbows and bring that shark fin above the back of your head. You can even take the thumbs and kiss the neck here. Give it a little massage, a little rub, and then press through the palms so you can feel the stretch. If you're not feeling anything at all, try walking the elbows a little farther forward. Breathe. Feel the stretch. Come back to your breath. Good. Use your next exhale to release the nice edge of the hands back down. Forearms come in line with the shoulders. And we inhale, start to push our hips up. So we're on our forearms, hips up towards the sky. Knees are still nice and wide, big toes touching. Come onto the hands, bring them right where the elbows were. Good. Inhale, right arm lifts up to the sky. Reach with those fingertips. Moving into Parsva Balasana, so a rotated child's pose. We extend that right arm up to the sky. Let's turn on the obliques first. So start to pull your belly button in towards your spine. Start to peel everything, squeeze everything up and under, and reach that right arm up and underneath the left. Thread the needle and extend that right arm, reaching towards the left side of your mat. Keep reaching. Lift that right hand up a little higher. Feel the right oblique turn on. Inhale. Reach the arm up to the sky. Open up. And exhale, reach and under, pull that belly button in. Think cat here, cat pose. We pull everything in and we squeeze it all up to the belly button. Inhale, open up.
Good. Exhale. Pull everything nice and tight under, reaching that right arm up and through. Thread that needle. Now, drop the back of the right hand onto the mat and release the right shoulder onto the mat. Now, bring your right ear just above the right shoulder and press it into the mat. The right side of your face is pressing into the mat. The left hand is right here in front of your face for support. Now, before we do anything else, find the adjustment in your legs to square your hips. Think about bringing those hip points right in line with your mat. Already starting to feel the stretch through the right shoulder. Maybe you want to add on here. Froggy finger walk the left hand all the way up to the left corner of the mat. Stay on the fingertips here and pull the shoulder back and down. Maybe you can get that ear even closer to the mat. We're working to keep the right ear grounded into the mat so we can feel the constriction in that shoulder. Cutting off the circulation here, bringing fresh blood back into that limb. Breathing here, maybe you want to take it a bit further, walk that hand back to the face and reach the left arm up to the sky. Notice how the shoulders start to stack here. Maybe you rotate your hand towards the back of your body, bend the elbow and start to reach for the right inner thigh with the left fingertips. If you can grab a hold of that thigh or that hip, start to open the left shoulder towards the sky. Notice how it changes the stretch. Remember, every movement we make to adjust or to change the stretch or change the movement changes the stretch. Good. Squeeze those hips, square them forward. Open up. Good. Everybody get that left hand back in front of the face. Press through the left palm. Use that left palm to inhale. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Open up, wiggle the fingers, gather some energy, and then drop the right hand down, right underneath that shoulder. Good. Inhale, lift the left arm up, left side. Reach that left arm up to the sky. Think about stacking shoulder on top of shoulder. Arms are super long from one fingertip to the other. Good. Start pulling the belly button in. Exhale, round and curl. Think Mad Kitty. Squeeze it all in and lift that left palm. You're going to want to try and lift it towards the sky like you're holding something in that hand and you want to lift it up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale. Open up. Spread the fingers wide. Reach for the sky. Good. Exhale. Pull it under. Think about that Mad Kitty. Reach, reach, reach. Extend that left arm long underneath the right. Threading that needle. Squeeze. Inhale. Open up. Good. Last time. Exhale. Squeeze everything in. Reach with that arm. Lift that palm a little higher. A little higher. Good. Now drop the left palm down into the mat and slowly start to drop the left shoulder down. The ear comes with it. The left ear drops just above the left shoulder and the right hand is just in front of my face. First, think about squaring the hips, dropping them down to square with the mat. They're still squeezing up towards the sky, but we're trying to bring those hip points nice and in alignment with the mat below. This might feel perfect for you. Stay right here. If you want a little more, claw those fingertips up to the right corner of the mat. Keep on those froggy fingers and then pull the shoulder back in its socket. Changes the stretch. Little more depth in that left shoulder stretch when we do it this way. Maybe you want to challenge yourself a little bit more. Take the right hand to the face. Maybe reach the right arm up to the sky. Notice how the shoulders starting to stack on top of each other here. Maybe you rotate that hand towards the back of your body and bend at the elbow, dropping that arm behind your back to reach for the left inner thigh with the right fingertips. If you can grab a hold of that hip or grab a hold of that thigh, open your right arm. Good job. Squeeze. Open up a little higher. Square those hips a little deeper. Inhale. Reach the right arm up. Wiggle the fingers. And then drop the right hand back into the mat. Use the pressure of that palm into the mat. And inhale. Sweep the left arm up. Gather up some of that energy. Say thank you. Good. Release that hand down. Knees come together. Sink it back down to the hips for a moment. Grab yourself a sip of water if you need. We're going to move on to our backs. Let's start with a little Makrasana, our crocodile pose first. So walk it forward and come onto the belly. Bring the elbows nice and wide. Stack the palms on top of each other and then place the forehead into those palms. Maybe walk those feet out a little farther so you have some nice extension all through the legs, all the way up to the neck. Tuck your chin in just a little bit more. Feel the length of the spine on the mat. Elbows nice and wide so you can feel the shoulder stretch here. A lot going on as we just lay here in this sleepy crocodile. Good. Now lift up through the head, let it hover. Start to walk the hands apart so they're not stacked anymore. And then rotate the fingers as far forward as you can, starting to pull the elbows under, allowing yourself to push up. Seal pose. Good. Be gentle here. If you feel any sort of stabbing in the back, come down just a little bit. You can always back off just a little bit here and still be in the posture. Pressing down through the hips, maybe look to the sky if you need a little bit more. Breathing, don't hold the breath. Good. Exhale, release it down. Now, I want you to pick your favorite side. So you can either pick your right side or your left side. It doesn't really matter, but I want you to pick your favorite side to roll onto. I'll roll onto my left today so you guys can see what I got going on here. So once you pick that side, roll onto it, extend that arm up long, and then create a little pillow for your ear with that lower bicep. Then you can bend that left arm and bring it up, or bend your lower arm, and you can actually come up and touch your hair or stroke your head or, massage your temple or whatever you want to do here. I also want you to take those knees and pull them in nice and tight. Come into a nice fetal position. This is our very first pose, guys. This is where we were before we were even born, like coming into this earth. We're inside our mommy's bellies. We're tucked in nice and tight into this fetal position. So go back to your original space. I like to take this time to find some cellular love, to send it cellularly. So, even if you're not feeling the I love you bit right now, I want you to tell yourself I love you anyway. Because what's going to happen is as we tap or touch or rub our bodies right now, wherever our fingertips are touching, just tap. Squeeze, do whatever it is to show your body some sensation, and then say, I love you. Say, I love you. Take that love cellular, make the cells start to believe it. Then maybe one day it'll come to your brain and you'll actually believe it. And if you're already in a great moment of self-love and you can say, I love you to yourself and mean it, then just really honor that right now. You can also take it cellular. Rub the legs, rub the temple, whatever you need to do here to really show yourself that love. Good job. Letting the heart start to slow. Letting the breath come back. Good. Slowly take your time here. Maybe even pausing the video if you need a few extra moments of this self-love. If it feels really good, definitely take the time to come and stay here for a moment. Otherwise, we're going to roll onto our back. Do another little spinal twist before moving into our final resting pose. So take your time getting onto your back. Really find that comfortable place, that comfortable Shavasana to start. Shoulders drop back and down. Tuck your chin towards your chest and lengthen the legs on the mat. Bringing your arms nice and beside you. Close your eyes and just start to settle in here for a moment, finding your breath, noticing your body. Good. We're going to move into a little Janu Padasana 2. So we're going to feel a nice side twisting stretch again. We're going to get the hips a little bit more involved. So I want you to reach your arms out like airplane wings once again, palms down. Tuck your chin back to your chest if it wavered, and walk the soles of the feet up towards the booty. Good. Now heel toe your feet out towards the edge of the mat, maybe even bringing the soles of the feet onto the gym or onto the floor outside of your mat, and use the arches of your feet to hug the edge of the mat as you drop the knees in to touch. So if you go to drop the knees in and they don't quite touch, just walk your feet in a little bit to touch. And remember, any sort of pinching or stabbing sensation,
Back off a little bit, which means just walk those feet in a little bit more. The closer the feet in are together, the easier it is to drop those knees into touch. But I always want you to work to challenge yourself as well. Make sure that you're not just slacking off because you can. Make sure that you're taking it to that edge and noticing that edge, that challenging point. Good. Inhale, open the legs up. Exhale, drop them down to touch. Inhale, open them up. Keep the feet where they are. Exhale, drop them down to touch. Last time, inhale, open up those knees. And exhale, release them down to touch. Use your next inhale to bring them neutral. So knees up towards the ceiling. Legs are still nice and wide out onto the floor. Arches of the feet hugging the edge of the mat. Start to windshield wiper your legs from side to side. So back and forth with the knees. And when you're ready, drop both knees over to the right side of your body. Now the key is here to make sure that left leg isn't crossing the center plane of the body. So I want you to lift the head up and look at the left thigh. If the left thigh is crossing the center plane of your body, walk your left foot away from your body a little bit. Create a nice right angle with that leg. Then drop the shoulder back and down, drop the head back and down, and look towards the sky. This is it. First stage. Feel this. If it's super intense, you can always take a block and place it underneath that left knee. Or if you want to take it a little further, maybe you take the outer edge of your right foot, the pinky side, and place it on the outer edge of your left thigh. So don't ever bring it to the knee. If the knee is as far as it's going to go, that's not where you're going today, okay? Don't bring the foot up. But if you can bring that foot past the knee and drop it down onto that leg, you're going to start to feel a nice, intense, deep stretch into the left side of that hip. If you feel a stabbing sensation in that left knee or a super pinch, you need to back off. You're just not quite there today, and that's all right. Just walk that right foot back down to the outside edge of the mat and replace it down. It's going to be okay. We'll get there one day. Don't stress if you're not there. Breathing here. If both shoulders are grounded, feel free to look out over the left fingertips. Janu Padasana. 2. Good. Eye gaze back up to the ceiling. If you have that foot up on top of that leg, drop it back down to the floor outside of your mat. And then use your inhale in your core to draw both knees up towards the sky. Windshield, wiper those legs from back and forth. Feel that release in those hips. Good. Now, set yourself up for success here. Make sure you're centered on the mat. Walk those feet back out to the edge of the floor and hug the edges of the mat with the arches of the feet. Just windshield wiper from side to side, arms out like airplane wings. And slowly drop both knees down towards the left side of your mat. Good. Look up, lift up, make sure that right leg isn't crossing the center plane. If it is, walk it out a little bit. Notice how the top side of your hip opens up. Good. Releasing here. And letting go. Shoulders are really working to stay down into the mat. Eye gaze up to the ceiling. If you need a little bit more, take the edge of that left foot and place it on the outer edge of the right thigh. Allow gravity to help peel that right knee down towards the mat a little bit more. Janu Padasana. 2. Good. Staying here, flexing your feet. If your shoulders are super grounded here, feel free to look over the right shoulder. Remember, if you feel any sort of stabbing or super pinch in that right knee, you need to back off. Good. Eye gaze back up to the ceiling. Slowly unwind. Start windshield wipering the knees from side to side and froggy walk those feet back together. Soles of the feet come together, knees fall apart. Supta Baddha Konasana, Supta Vajrasana, bound angle pose. Shoulders drop back and down, and you let the knees fall away as the soles of the feet start to press together. Good. Now you can stay right here for the rest of our class for our meditation posture if you want a little bit of a challenge today and want to build that energy before you get started. Otherwise, I want you to take the fingertips to the outer edge of the thighs, and on your inhale, close those knees like you're closing that book. and then walk those feet down into your final Shavasana. Now, our final Shavasana is super important, guys. It's the most important part of our practice ever. So anytime you're flowing, please always make sure to do a Shavasana at the end of your practice. At least 3, 4, 5 minutes if you can, if not longer. Drop the shoulders back and down. Tuck your chin towards your chest to lengthen the spine on the mat. And extend the legs nice and long. Maybe even walking those heels down a little farther to really feel the length through the spine. Arms are nice and tight down beside you, or you can walk the arms out any length you want, even coming all the way up into a starfish if that feels good. Maybe even walking the heels out towards the edges of the mat or off the mat so you can really get that nice, comfortable pose. Wherever you go, I encourage you to choose a position where you can stay there for a long time, where it's super, super comfortable that you could basically just fall asleep. As you start to find this meditative state, this Shavasana, this let go, I encourage you to resist that urge to fidget, resist that urge to move, to run away, to end the practice. Don't decide where it ends. Challenge yourself to find stillness. We're always on the go, move, 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 run, 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 have this happen, do this, do that. We never get a moment of stillness. So I encourage you to find the challenge in the stillness. It can be difficult. I know when I first started practicing, and even still today, when I start to find the length of that stillness really increasing, sometimes there's an urgency that starts to build up and bubble up, sometimes in my belly, sometimes in my chest. It's almost anxiety, telling me to move, telling me to jump up and run. And in those moments, I want you to take a nice deep breath. Fill the belly all the way up with that fresh oxygen, and then send that fresh oxygen to wherever you're feeling that anxiety. Allow it to blast it away like a laser blaster, pew, 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 and just send it away, releasing that tension, releasing that anxiety, and just letting go. Settling into the stillness, allowing each exhale to melt you even further into that stillness, even further into that mat. Starting to notice the thoughts, acknowledge them as they come in and then send them away. And see if you can lengthen the space in between those thoughts. We're looking to find that space between the breath, between the thoughts, between the emotion. Coming back to your breath each time you start to get unfocused. Noticing as you inhale how your belly fills up with air, rising all the way towards the sky. And then as you exhale, notice the belly button fall towards the mat, fall towards your back, melting everything a little deeper. Calming, finding the stillness in the body. Hoping to find that stillness in the mind as well. It all comes with practice. Taking a moment here to maybe come back to your intention. If you forgot what that intention was, guess what? That just means the universe is already working on it and you get to pick something else. So find that intention and really, really, really display it in your mind. Take a picture of it. What does it look like? What does it feel like once that thing is in your grasp? Once you have it, once it's done, once you are that thing. Inhale really deep. Fill that belly all the way up with air and then pause the breath. Hold it at the top. And as you exhale, say, I am that. With the inhale, say, I am. Exhale, I am that. Inhale, I am. Exhale, I am that. Inhale, I am. And let it go. Come back to your breath. Relax into your space, hanging out in this Shavasana. Keeping that stillness. Sending the urgency away. Finding that space right between the eyebrows. Allow it to soften. the eyeballs hang heavy. Let the nostrils hang heavy. Feel your jaw relax as the tongue releases from the roof of the mouth. Feel the skin of the jaw and the neck start to fall towards the floor, relaxing, pulling with it the collarbones and the tips of the shoulders releasing into the mat. Feel your biceps relax all the way into the elbows, releasing the forearms and relaxing the wrists. Feeling the fingertips and the hands just relax and melt away. Maybe even feeling a tingle of energy in the palms here. Notice the rib cage settle. Each exhale, allowing that space between each rib to release and relax. Noticing the rise and fall of the belly button as the hips release and melt towards the floor. The thighs begin to feel heavier and the weight of the knees pulls away. Feeling the calves and the shins completely release, giving way for the ankles, the feet, and the toes to find complete relaxation. Still breathing and resisting that urge to fidget, that urge to move. Taking a moment to think about your right hand. Without moving, bring your right hand up to the left shoulder and give yourself a pat on the back. Tell yourself, thank you. I honor you. I love you. Feeling the energy flowing up and down the center channel, the Sushumna Nadi. Releasing everything with each exhale, keep coming back to the breath. Taking as much time as you need here in this Shavasana, just really letting go. Allowing yourself to stay in this space once the video ends. And in that moment where you feel like you're done, I encourage you to take at least 3 more full cycles of breath in and out. Maybe you take 5 and really challenge yourself. Each time you come back into the Shavasana, remembering to stay in there just a few more breaths. Challenging yourself to extend this moment of stillness even longer each time. Knowing that you are safe, you are sound. Your mat is here to support you. Without moving, start to bring your awareness up to your third eye. Feel that light radiating from your forehead. Say to yourself here, I intuit the truth of my thoughts. Bring that awareness down to your lips, down to your throat. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, say to yourself, I choose to speak my truth. Another nice big deep inhale brings that energy down to the heart. Feel that energy vibrating all the way down to your toes and up to the tips of your hair. Feel it spilling out into the universe around you, sharing your love and light with the universe. Take a nice big deep inhale. And as you exhale, say to yourself, I feel that truth in my heart. Remembering to take as much time as you can here, feeling the stillness, allowing the thoughts to fade out, and finding that space between. It's been my honor, my privilege to guide you guys today. Take care, with all of my heart to yours. Namaste.